The Horse Talk Show would like to take this opportunity to welcome back Wide Automotive as a sponsor of the first half of the Horse Talk Show, brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And we'd also like to say a great big congratulations from all of us to Brian on his wedding to Amanda this weekend. Check out Wider Automotive for all your diesel, truck repairs and horse trailer repairs. That's Wider Automotive in Ocala, the horse capital of the world.
Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have a great show lineup for you. Very, very excited to be able to have Linda Pirelli back for the second part of curriculum with us. We learnt a lot last week. We're going to learn more. And we also have winter issues for horses with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith. We have some phenomenal first few interviews of a series of 10 or 11 interviews that we had the wonderful opportunity of being with for a reception with Piranha Animal Health in Las Vegas this weekend. And we have number 1, number 2 in the world. And then to top that,
we have a Power Ranger.
We do. The most important topic of all, which is barn safety, especially over the holidays, with Pat Myers from Pat Myers Electric. So you got to see a little glimpse there of me on the bull and the...
Having fun at the NFR?
Yes.
Cowboy Christmas?
Yeah, Cowboy Christmas. It was a good time. I just want to do a quick shout out for Piranha Animal Health and everything that they did this past weekend so that we could really be engaged with some of the top athletes and professionals from around the world. The trip was just absolutely amazing. Just going over everything we did was fun. Laurie and Tom are incredible and they're like family, and just as is the Piranha team. And it was just an amazing opportunity for me for the first time ever to go and learn so much about what it takes to be in the top 15 at the National Finals Rodeo, and just being there, meeting Riley Webb and Shad Mayfield, and going to Cowboy Christmas and staying in the hotel. My view was from the 37th floor was the Trump Tower and most of Vegas, which was amazing. And it was just overall just an absolutely incredible experience to meet the best of the best and get to interview them and stay in a beautiful place with phenomenal people. So Las Vegas, it was fabulous.
It's a good time if you ever get to go.
Absolutely. We're going to switch it up now, and we are going to talk about some winter issues with Dr. Adam Cayot. Here he is. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative, here with Dr. Adam Cayot, and we are going into the winter months, so we're going to talk about avoiding some issues for our horses at that time of year. So a big one is respiratory. We see a lot of people keeping horses more in the barn more often. Obviously, we don't have dramatically cold winters here like they do up north, but we have listeners all over the country and all over the world. Right. And a lot of people do start bringing the horses in more, especially in the colder weather. And we do see issues with less ventilation. Sometimes the windows aren't open. There's not a lot of air passing through. Mm-hmm. Might be dusty. Mm-hmm. So that's a big one at this time of year.
Yeah, certainly. So we're a couple things combined. You're in a confined space with less ventilation because it's cold, and it's a dusty environment. You have more horses concentrated in one area, so you're more likely to pass things between horses, respiratory problems, and obviously you got the dust and that can all lead to runny noses, coughs, and try to minimize that as best you can. When you can open up the barn and get them out. Certainly things that you can do to minimize dust is make sure your shavings or whatever you're bedding on is not dusty. Certainly you can sprinkle water on your hay, which you're feed on the ground, as opposed to in a hay mound or one of the things where it's up high and it's just falling into the horse's face. Those are all good things that you can do, and make sure that your horses are vaccinated and that sort of thing, so they're less likely to pass, bugs along to one another. And all those things are things that help for sure.
And then, of course, there's the winter colics that often start at this time of year. Horses drinking a lot less. People are usually increasing hay more with the horse drinking less.
Right.
So we see that. And then, of course, temperature changes that can be dramatic. Some days it might be 80 and then we might have a 30. And it changes fast here.
Yeah. So that's a good point. First of all, the during the winter down here, the feed stuff dries out. The grass dries out. You start feeding more hay. They drink less because they're not sweating as much, and they're cool, and the water can get cold, and they don't like to stick their nose in the cold water. So all those things can combine and lead you to colicky problems. The other thing that people do is drop a free choice round bale of whatever out in the field, because their grass is dead or whatever, which is fine to do, but you need to make sure that you don't just give them smorgasbord, just let them eat on the round bale all day long, because you're going to end up with an impaction, because they gorge themselves and they don't drink any water, and then it's just like one big becomes one big stuck log,
Right.
So.
And then you run the risk of an impaction too on top of that.
Right. So that's what ends up happening. It gets impacted because it's all dried out and they haven't drank as much. So, so just be cognizant of that. Try to encourage them to get as much water as they can. Some people do, obviously salt licks are good because they lick the salt and that encourages them to drink. So make sure that's available to them, and just be aware of what you're feeding and how much you're feeding, and are they actually used to this feed stuff.
And the cleaner the water is, so the more often you clean out the water source, the better, because it's more enticing, at least if it's nice and clean.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, yeah. Obviously, have a nice clean water source, and make sure the buckets are nice and clean and all that stuff, which most people generally do. Anything to encourage them to consume more water, because that's going to be your biggest deterrent to colics. First of all, hydration. Second of all, it mixes with the feed stuff as it gets digested through, so it doesn't harden as much, and it passes through the way it's supposed to.
And I love that Redmond salt, the loose salt that you put in the feed. It has the garlic in it as well, and I love that. I'm giving that to the horse and the donkeys right now to keep them drinking more, so because I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, when you do that, you just got to be careful, because some of them like it, some of them don't, will turn up their nose at it. So the palatability can be an issue with putting it actually in their feed. But if it works for your horse, wonderful. Awesome.
My horses.
Yeah.
Dr. Cayot, they're piggies. You've
they
seen
don't turn
how
their nose
plump
up
they
as much
are.
as me
Yes,
either.
there's no turning them off food. So, any other issues that we face in the winter?
No, not really. I mean, winter time is really nice for the horse, because they actually do better in the winter than they do, in the summer in the heat. So, certainly down here, the thing about the change in weather, I mean, blankets are probably more appropriate down here for a lot of reasons, because it can be 80 and then 2 days from now to be 29. And so you have this horse with this long winter coat, and it's 80 and they're like burning up and they're sweating. And so it does make it nice to, if you can, body clip for the hot days and then put a blanket on when it's going to be cold. So you gotta be careful with that stuff, because the ones with the heavy coats can get overheated, especially when it's 80 degrees. And I mean,
It's a rapid change.
I don't know what's going on this year, but the horses have furry coats this year. I don't know if we're going to have it was 29 degrees in October, and I've been here 24 years. I don't remember.
Never known it do that.
In October. It doesn't get that cold. So
no.
Maybe they know something we don't.
They know something we don't.
Yeah,
maybe we're going to have a cold winter.
Yeah, which should be nice. Maybe it'll kill some bugs.
That's right. Louisa Barton here with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
The Green Pharmacist CBD is not just made in the USA, it's made in Ocala in a licensed lab. Greene, the Green Pharmacist. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires, and equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure you can achieve your vision for a safe and functional horse facility. For new builds, rewires, and updating, Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a farm of our own, we know you cannot take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
Veteran-owned Wide Automotive, that's WEIDE, is a beacon of automotive excellence in Ocala. Founded on integrity and expertise with unwavering dedication in all operations, we seek to forge lasting relationships with our clients. Whether you have one vehicle or a fleet, we pledge our best effort in quality service. From repairs, diagnostics, tire repair and replacement, diesel engine work, horse trailers, car batteries, wheel alignments, fuel systems, and more. Discover more at wideautomotive.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they are our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And I'm excited to have the great and extraordinary Linda Pirelli back here in the studio with us for the second week running to talk about the second part of her curriculum. Linda, it's lovely to have you back.
It's been so long, Louisa. Pete, I missed you. Yeah.
I love my shirt, by the way.
I love you in my shirt.
Watching, I had on the same exact shirt that Linda has on, which is like a navy blue, for those listening, not watching, a navy blue with white horses on it. And I absolutely put it on first because I love navy. And I looked in the mirror and I said, gosh, this is a really, really nice shirt. I really like this shirt. And then I thought, I'm talking piranha and rodeo and other things that are kind of more
exuberant.
Yes, exuberant, that's the word. Thank you so much. And so I was like, I think I should put the bright coloured one on. And then when Linda arrives today in the blue one, she goes, oh, I nearly wore that shirt.
We're going to have to send each other memos. What are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
Okay, so before we get started with the second half, let's do a little recap of the first three.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm talking about my curriculum, which is the next evolution in horse training, behavior-based, using psychology and putting the relationship first, and really empowering people both on the ground and in the saddle. And there's three main sections. The first section is the core behaviors, the second section is qualities, and the third section is performance. So last week we talked about the core behaviors, and this is really where the relationship is made. So the three subjects are connection, relaxation, and responsiveness. And in there you learn about horse behavior, how to read horses, because if you're going to talk horse, which is what my program's called, How to Talk Horse, you need to know what horses are saying to you, not just what you're saying to horses, because that way it's a conversation. Otherwise, I'm just barking orders at you and telling you what to do. But I want to ask you a question and see if you'll collaborate and converse with me. And so I need to listen, and I need to know what the horse is saying. So that's what the first three parts are all about. And I call them the core behaviors because I would say that probably 80 to 90% of problems that people have with their horses are misunderstandings and difficulties in the relationship. You know, it's a funny thing because people go, oh, you know, I can't catch my horse, or, you know, my horse, you know, is really herd bound or something like that. And the last thing that they imagine is that you're going to say, well, you know, if you came home and your husband ran out the back door and you couldn't catch him, would you say, oh, my husband is so hard to catch? Or would you go, maybe there's something wrong with the relationship? Right? So a lot of those issues are relationship issues, and we don't know that. We think it's obedience problems, or that it's just a naughty horse, you know, a bad horse. So
now
that
we've
kind
got
of changes
those
that.
3 pieces.
Now we've got the core behaviors under control.
And now what's the next?
Now the next 3 are confidence, impulsion, and bending. So let's start with confidence. And actually what I should say is that, I mean, these are manuals that have just come out, so it's my curriculum in print. But online there are videos, like there's hundreds of videos. Every segment has videos and teaching videos in it, so people can watch that as well. So coming into the qualities, I call them the qualities because now you start to think about how a horse does something. Back in responsiveness, it's like, will the horse do something? If I ask it to go, if I ask it to stop, if I ask it to turn, will it actually do that? Because if you ask a horse, some of them go, no, you turn, you know, you go. So once you've got that understanding that horses understand how to go, how to slow, how to turn, whatever, now it's the quality with which they do it. Do they do it with confidence or tension and fear? Do they do it with impulsion, which means not too much, not too little, just right? And do they do it with flexibility and suppleness, or they are stiff as a board? So, shall we talk a little bit about confidence?
Yes.
Sure.
So, when it comes to confidence, I think, again, there's a lot of misunderstandings. You know, when people, for instance, have problems trailer loading a horse, they go, oh, my horse hates the trailer, or, you know, it's stubborn, it won't get in, it freaks out. Nobody ever thinks, not nobody, but just in general. Mm-hmm. We're generally not taught to think, oh my gosh, the horse is claustrophobic, he's afraid, this is the weirdest thing ever for a horse to do. The last thing they want to do is be walled off in, you know, every area, in front, behind, below and above, because that's the biggest trap you can imagine.
It's my least favourite thing to do with horses.
For most people
it
it
has
is.
been my least favourite thing. And just to interject there, for a little while I had a different trailer, and it was a little bit lower height-wise. Mm-hmm. My Mustang absolutely hated it, and I know he felt claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Because it was much lower than the nice tall ones that feel more airy, and immediately there was a difference in him wanting to get on it. So it's interesting that you bring that up.
And it's a big problem in the horse industry, and Pete, you know that too. You know, you either have horses that, you know, kind of you can get away with it and get them in there somehow, or some are pretty obedient. But most are why we have a job, you know, because horses don't want to get in, and they can get really dangerous, you know, and dismantle a trailer from the inside. I mean, I've seen, in the 35 years I've been doing this, I've seen some horrific situations, and it's all because you force a horse to get in a trailer. Mm-hmm. Now, what's really funny is that I should have brought it. I have a manual. I have 2 manuals on trailer loading, and it's kind of like everything you wanted to know but were afraid to ask about trailer loading. And I thought, this is going to be a bestseller, because almost everybody, nobody buys it, because they don't think they have a problem. I can get my horse in. As long as I get it in eventually, we're okay. But no one has ever conceived of the fact that you could walk towards a trailer and the horse goes, get out of the way, let me in. Confident,
they get
willing.
the goal, that's all they worry about.
Yeah, we got him on, you know. And then sometimes they go, well, my horse was fine until recently. And then all of a sudden, he's rushing out. I can't keep him in there. He's pulling back on the, you know, won't go in, freaking out, sweating, all of a sudden. But what we haven't seen is that confidence has been eroding. And little by little, every time you force the horse into that situation, even if you force it nicely with treats, it's not the horse's choice. So confidence is a huge thing, and I've picked on a subject that's pretty big. Mm-hmm. But it can be everything from spooking, you know, on a trail, spooking at the flower box in an arena, you know, spooking at a puddle, not going through this, having trouble being around other horses. And that's another thing, people can get into a lot of trouble when they ride in groups because their horses can get very defensive or aggressive. And that's all herd mentality. They go, well, this is where I usually am in the herd. Now, where am I in this herd? And that's natural for horses.
Yeah.
But what we need to teach them is that we got this. We're the leader. We're number one in this herd. And how do I help you either with your defensiveness or with your tendency to be aggressive? So all of that kind of thing is in the confidence module. There's, 16, 17 lessons in here. Everything to do with the trailer loading, on the trail, and we do some pretty fun stuff too. Tarps. There's a lot of simulations that we do, get horses to stand on pedestals or cross tarps and things like that. And it's not about flooding them, or desensitizing. We want our horses thinking and truly being confident. Because if you work on their confidence in situations like that and in simulations, it will start to go and permeate through everything you do. Because in the end, the horse has to have confidence in you.
So the confidence is in you as the leader, not another horse or a place or things they're used to, but the confidence is in you, so they know wherever you go, whatever you do, they trust
become
you.
confident.
Yeah, and the hard part is when you have confidence issues, and I talk about that in there as well, because it's natural for us if we've had difficult situations or got hurt or something like that, we can lose our confidence. And now we're unconfident on an unconfident horse. And the horse is like, I thought you were the leader, and we're like, I don't feel so. And then horses lose it. So because you can't fake it till you make it. You have to learn how to be confident. And I give you strategies for that so that you can be a good leader for your horse.
You're the leader of the herd, and the horse has to know it. We have to go to break. The good news is we have another segment with Linda. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show and we'll be right back.
Smash Wraps creates business fleet and storefront interior and exterior solutions. Don't just wrap it, smash wrap it. SmashWraps.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads, and lasers, equine water treadmills, cold saltwater spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers, and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform, and recover with Equine Therapy International. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Centre in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
DAC Vitamins and Minerals has been making a world of difference for 35 years. Do you know what sets DAC apart? We use chelation minerals from Alltech, which allows for better absorption. DAC is the only supplement company Alltech provides ingredients for. We have our nutritionist, Performance Horse Nutrition, NASP, which is the quality seal, which guarantees our products and ensures our use of quality ingredients. DAC gives you a guaranteed analysis in every 1 ounce scoop, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't your partner deserve the best? Visit feeddac.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
And quick shout out to Larson Farms. Nelson delivered my block of hay for my horse this morning, and can I say that there is no better, more efficient, well done service. Nelson represents so well and is so quick, and let me go catch my horse and move him out of the way and load it in his current jail cell that he's in with his fractured hock, and he was very happy to see the hay. So I'll be sharing that with you later. And the donkeys, of course, jumped in to help. Second part, second segment here with Linda Pirelli. We're on actually the second part of her curriculum. We've been talking a little bit about, kind of summarized last week and started on this week. So let's go back, Linda, to where we were.
So what are the most common complaints that people have around impulsion? My horse doesn't go. He's lazy. He's behind the leg. Or it's the opposite. He's too fast. He's always tripping over his toes. You know, I can't control him. You know, he's only got one speed and that's gone, you know. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people wrestle with that, and you're constantly pushing the horse that doesn't go, or you're constantly holding back the horse that goes too much. So there's a lot of emotional issues connected with that, which is kind of interesting because most people wouldn't think that. But, excuse me, I'm all croaky. But a lot of the emotions we get rid of in the first core behaviors that we do. And so once we've done that, a lot of those issues are just gone. But sometimes they can come up. But here's the main thing that goes on with horses that are too slow or too fast. And that is that horses don't really know what speed they should be doing. And people don't tell them what speed they should be doing. And, you know, I was guilty of that way back before I knew better. But it's kind of like, you know, we get in a car and we put our foot on the gas pedal and we aim for a certain speed. We get on a horse and we just say, go.
Right.
And then we go, oh no, that's too fast. Oh no, it's too slow. And the horse is like, oh, for goodness sake, you know, make up your mind. So horses don't really know, because most of us don't ride with our seat, which gives you the speed. You know, it's like if I had my hand on your back and I pushed you this fast, you'd know exactly how fast to go. But if I just went, go, and then I went, no, that's too fast, you know, pretty soon you're going to buck me off or run away. So the first thing is teaching people about speed regulation and then how to regulate horses' gaits. But we've got to think about that. And so I get people to do 4 speeds in every gait, the slowest possible, the fastest possible, and 2 in between. And it's amazing because people think, oh, how hard could this be? It is hard. If you've got a horse that doesn't stop very well, doesn't go very slow, then a 1, which is 1 foot at a time, feels impossible, that you're never going to get it. But when you get it, it's like both people and horses go, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to be able to go slow, you know. And then the same thing with a horse that doesn't have much go. When you get him to do a 1, first of all, it blows his mind, because he's like, why are you not telling me to go very fast? And then when you finally get them to a 4, they were like, oh, I didn't know that was the speed you wanted. I thought you were just bugging me. Mm-hmm. You know, so it really clears up the communication. And there's one central piece to this that is really important, and that's the rein back or the back up, because most horses don't go backwards. They've never been asked to go backwards, and if they are, they're shoved or pulled backwards, but they haven't learned it as a skill. So it's like having your car without reverse. There's not much you can do, you know. So impulsion, to put it very simply, that's what I cover in here with those kinds of lessons.
Very important, yes.
And then the final one, oh, I was holding out confidence. Okay, impulsion. Then the last one is about bending. And I would say in the impulsion and bending modules is where there's a lot of room for improvement in performance. So these are like the building blocks for your collection or your speed control in whatever classes you're doing or sport that you're doing. Even racehorses need speed control and speed regulation. But then the next one is suppleness and bending, because a lot of horses are really bracy, stiff in the neck, stiff in the jaw, stiff everywhere. And that, some people think is tension, but sometimes it's horses that just don't move very well. They don't know how to move. You know, we all know people who can dance, right? That are really fluid and can dance, and others are like, you know, I got no clue, I don't know how to dance and I'm stiff as a board. And some horses are like that naturally. You know, some are like gazelles out there.
I've never thought of that.
And other horses are like little, like, now you put a rider on and a bit in their mouth, they're like, now I feel I can't even move. Mm-hmm. And so this is a bunch of exercises that are like isolations to teach horses to move parts of their body on the ground a little bit, but especially riding, because that's where we really need it. And I go into latitudinal and longitudinal flexion. There's a test later, so you better be listening. So longitudinal flexion is probably the biggest missing piece. A lot of people do lateral flexion, but longitudinal is where you've got, the horse is able to push its back up into you and carry the rider in a healthy way. And then finally, to teach horses about contact is in this bending module, because a lot of horses have trouble with it. You put a bit in their mouth and like, thanks, now what? This is uncomfortable, I don't understand it, I'm scared, I'm trapped, whatever. And so I have a way that I approach it where I teach contact one rein at a time. And I've taken horses with horrible, horrible issues, stick their tongue out, open their mouth, grind their teeth, and within minutes, it's gone. Just saying.
That's incredible.
Well, it goes back to the long lining. It's easier for the horse to understand one rein, harder for the human to do it.
Yes.
And then easier for the human to do two reins, long lining, harder for the horse to understand it.
Yes, it is. Totally. I concur, Dr. Pete. But yeah, and this is really like horse training secrets, because this is not about, giving you techniques and things. This is about really understanding how horses think, how they operate, and how to have productive conversations with them. And so, we need to have our horses connect to us as a friend, a protector, a leader, and a teacher.
That's right.
And this is the curriculum, a curriculum, that does that. It touches all those 5 elements.
And works for any horse. It doesn't, it's not...
Any horse.
Yes. So it's not specific to
No.
certain horses. This is any breed, any discipline. This is the basis, the foundation of how to get all those things right with your horse before you try and move on to
the performance part.
Yes, the
right?
performance part. Which
Yes.
is,
And that's what I was going to say is, do you find that when you're teaching, people have jumping skills, dressage skills, but they don't have the basics? Like everything you're talking about, I'm like, yeah, I understand that. But then I know so many people that can outride me, but they don't understand the basics.
We're not taught that. I mean, it's kick to go, pull to stop, basically. Keep the horse between you and the ground. Good luck. Now go take riding lessons.
that's how we grew up.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, me too.
And then,
Stay on.
but we
Figure
don't
it out.
know the first thing about how horses think or how they learn, even that they have different characters and spirit level, of course, but that some horses, just like people, they have different personalities and horsenalities. And if you rub a horse the wrong way, you're already on a downward path. So this teaches you how to talk horse and how to not be misunderstood and how to invite your horse into conversations
I love that.
that are mutually
And that's happy
rewarding.
Horse, happy horse, happy life.
Happy horse,
dot
happy life.
com.
And
And you
don't-
can have all the secrets then yourself.
You can just go to happyhorsehappylife.com and you can go through our
can also
membership,
get
or you can buy it.
shirts.
Shirts,
You can
whatever.
get the best shirts.
You can get vests.
But I
and
know-
decks. There's card decks.
Yes,
I
and
love the
I
card
should be able
decks.
to
What a
bring
great
some of those
Christmas
next
gift.
week. They should be in house.
They're amazing.
Very fun.
Challenge fun
Oh, you got 'em,
cards
yes.
and game fun cards and shirts and vests and all kinds of goodies, and get the curriculum because it will help you with your horse.
And this can be a little bit daunting. Like people look at this and like, oh my God, that's a college course. Do I really want to do that? I tell you who wants you to do it, and it's your horse.
Yes, your horse.
Because the
Oh, I
better you
wanna
are,
do it.
the better you are at talking
You
horse.
want to have a happy horse and a happy life because that's just
and you
how
know
it
the
works.
inside secrets, and you can do it a bite at a time, or you can dive right in.
So I'm looking forward to the next part.
Yes,
Of course you are.
Linda's back with us next
The
week.
performance
Linda,
part.
thank you so much.
Thank
I'll
you
be
both.
in another shirt. So tune in with us
I'll
next
call
week.
you.
Linda Pirelli, happy horse, happy life. We'll be right back on the Horse Talk Show. Stay with us.
Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Centre in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires, and equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure you can achieve your vision for a safe and functional horse facility. For new builds, rewires, and updating, Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a farm of our own, we know you cannot take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. It's time to fight back against summer sores with K-Well's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus, buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store K-Well sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at kwellusa.com. K-Well, strength by nature.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. She's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
I'm Tick Maynard, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet,
your hometown Chevy experience.
And I think I mentioned to you that we were with Piranha Animal Health in Vegas this weekend for the NFR.
The Thomas and Mack Arena.
Yes, and had a chance to interview one of their sponsored riders, who is Riley Webb, #1 in the world. Here he is.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network, here with Piranha Animal Health for a very exciting weekend at the NFR. Talking to #1 in the world,
Yes,
world
ma'am.
champion, right? Tell us, Riley Webb, a little bit about your journey from literally a few weeks old at your very first rodeo to competing at 10.
Yes, ma'am.
And now here you are, world champion.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that journey.
Yes, ma'am. Grew up at my mom and dad, we lived in Denton, Texas, and the North Texas Fair and Rodeos there in Denton. I was born the first week of August, and that starts the end of August. So I wasn't even a couple weeks old, got to go to my first rodeo, and then they produced a lot of ropings and rodeos and junior events that I grew up going to their ropings and playing in my playpen at the ropings, and growing up and always had a rope in my hand, and then roped my first calf when I was about 5 years old, and then started competing about 8, 9, 10 years old, and then kind of just had the bug, and it took off from there. Went to junior ropings, and then when I was 15, made the American the first rodeo the first time in the San Angelo Open Fiesta. Be the youngest calf roper to do that, make the American rodeo, and then turned 18, bought my card, and this is my 4th consecutive NFR and 2 world championships in the last 4 years, or still this year so far. But
that's a heck of a journey,
yes,
right?
Yes, ma'am.
My gosh. Now tell us about your horse, because your horse won something too, right?
Yes, ma'am. My horse was the horse of the year this year, Rudy. He's been great for me, and that's why we got to have Piranha to take care of him, keep the flies off of him, and keep him shiny and going down the road.
That's great. So Piranha plays well into your program.
Yes, ma'am. I've always used Piranha my whole life, and then partners with them for the last 2 years, and been great to use all their products, and my horses love them, and I love them as well.
Well, am I correct to say that you're the youngest ever to pass $1 million in earnings?
Yes, ma'am. That's what they say. I was the youngest to pass the $1 million mark in the PRCA last year at 21 years old. So that's really cool.
So world champion and #1 and #1 in products for sure with Piranha Animal Health.
Yes, ma'am. We love the product, and I'm glad to be partners with them.
Riley Webb, we're very excited for you this weekend. Looking forward to seeing you compete at the NFR. It's my first NFR, so I'm excited.
Yes,
we
ma'am.
wish you all the very best. Hope to see you continue winning.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you to Riley Webb and Piranha Animal Health.
Here's number 2, Shad Mayfield.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network here for Piranha Animal Health in Vegas, talking to Shad Money Mayfield. Shad, why do they call you that?
I've had a good career and won a lot of money. So a good friend of mine at a young age called me Shad Money, and it wasn't very big then, and throughout my career it kind of stuck with all the announcers, so here we are. Everyone calls me Shad Money.
So you're in your 7th NFR. What are you competing in this weekend?
Competing in the tie-down roping. I'm super excited. 7th NFR, and looking forward to hopefully winning another world championship.
And 2nd in the world, is that right?
Yes, ma'am, 2nd in the world.
Tell us about your horse.
I have some amazing lineup of horses. My number 1 horse that I'm riding here, her name's Lollipop. She was a 2024 PRCA Horse of the Year. I've had her 3 years. She's special to me. Pretty bay horse and has a really cool personality. She's my go-to horse for everywhere. So if you see me at a big rodeo, usually I'm on Lollipop. And in the first round, it went really good on her. She does her job every time, and I trust her.
So Piranha Animal Health plays a huge role in so many of these top athletes programs. Talk a little bit about why Piranha is important to you and Lollipop.
Yeah, Piranha's been a big thing to me for a long time. I've used Piranha since before I've even been an ambassador of Piranha. It's been the best fly spray for my horses because we travel all across the world. And believe me, I've been to some crazy places where flies will literally pick you up and pack you away. And luckily I have Piranha in my trailer, so that keeps my horses comfortable. And those horses, they mean a lot to me, so I want them to be comfortable. So Piranha, they make the best, fly spray as well as detangler for their mane. They make so many great supplies, shampoo, conditioner, just all the stuff that I could keep my horse comfortable as well as looking good.
Awesome. Anything else that you'd like to add for our listeners and viewers that'd like to learn a little bit more about the NFR and you, Shad, being such a top athlete in this sport?
Yeah, I feel like the NFR, it's the Super Bowl rodeo. You're looking at the best cowboys and cowgirls. We compete all year long to come right here and battle it out over the next 10 nights, and I'm super excited. Like I said, I started out in round 1 with a win, and that was my 7th go-round win, and hopefully, we could stack that up some more, but looking forward to years to come.
Awesome. Well, we wish you and Lollipop all the best this weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
For a great NFR.
Thank you.
Shad, it's an honor to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Piranha Animal Health.
And now, JJ Harrison, Piranha-sponsored rodeo clown. Here you go.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network for Piranha Animal Health with JJ Harrison, the rodeo clown.
Rodeo clown, baby, that's right. We do a lot with the animals ourselves. Obviously, I protect bull riders and bullfighters from the dangerous bulls. But anybody in rodeo knows animal care is always our number 1 priority, and nobody puts more passion into their products than my friends at Piranha. And on top of that, they come up with amazing products. Now, when you're a rodeo clown, I don't travel with the horses. We have lots of horses with a separate entity, but I will tell you that this product, this is Odaway.
Is that why you don't smell?
Exactly. That's why I smell so good. I'm telling you, Odaway, I use it on myself. I use it on my dogs. I use it on absolutely anything that smells. A lot of this I give to bullfighters. They throw it in a gear bag. They will hit their gear. Their clothing, they sweat in every day and they never damn wash it. And I'm telling you what, it will knock it out. It is absolutely a phenomenal product. Obviously, it was built for dogs and getting hit by a skunk, but so many positive uses for Odaway. It's crazy the effectiveness of it, and it doesn't overpower you with the smell. A lot of times, a product, you'll buy it and it'll overpower everything and it'll have a citrus or some kind of foofy lavender. And you're just like, oh God, I'd almost rather just have the stink. Right. But with Odaway, it takes the scent away, and it absolutely leaves the room, leaves the product, leaves anything, your animal, feeling fresh.
Wonderful. Great for things like helmets, boots, vests,
Absolutely.
Anything that gets stinky, right?
Absolutely. Any of those things.
Hey, we live in Florida, so we know about sweating, so wonderful to have the Odaway, right?
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about being a rodeo clown. It's got to be a very interesting and fun life, right?
People always ask me, how do you become a rodeo clown? It's pretty much just be 2 lazy to work and too scared to steal. You know, I mean, really, I have a master's degree in education, to be honest with you, and I taught school for 8 years, but this job is a passion job, and it pulls you into it. And once you become a cowboy, you don't really ever want to leave. And this was my way to get involved in pro rodeo and be at this level, and I took it. And my family travels with me everywhere. I got a beautiful wife, Bailey, that, I mean, everywhere I go, I drag her and my little 5-year-old daughter with me. We have 5 kids all together, but it's truly, it's an experience and a lifestyle, and we choose to live it. And up and down the road, we own some houses around the country, but I'm telling you, we live out of a truck. And my wife has to get pretty in the truck, in a trailer with no power sometimes. And, you know, all of those things, the cost, the miles on the road, those are hard. And people like Piranha stand behind us. They help us get up and down the road, and they believe in what we're doing. And there's no better feeling than to have a partner that believes in you, and Piranha does that for us.
JJ, that's awesome. What a great testimonial. And you know, it's not like working when you love what you do and you have partners like that, right?
Yep, absolutely. And you know, we want this to continue. NFR 25 has been great, but 26 is going to be bigger, and 27 will be bigger than that. The cowboy culture is coming back to America, and it's coming strong. And animals, the use of animals is coming up as well. There's more horses, there's more, I mean, cattle, you name it. I love that the price of cattle is going up. I mean, that's good for ranchers, but I'm telling you, Piranha is there every step of the way to take care of all your needs.
Amen. I can't agree with you more, JJ Harrison. It's really an honor to
pleasure,
meet you.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you too.
Louisa Barton with the Horse Talk Show, here with JJ Harrison, the rodeo clown.
Yeah.
Good times.
Your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And I have one of our favourite people here in the studio with us.
Woohoo!
He always lights up my day. Pat Myers from Pat Myers Electric.
Howdy.
It's lovely to have you back with us.
Oh, it's always wonderful to be here. Thank you.
You've been a busy chap.
I kind of have. I've been running around.
You have.
Yeah.
Impressive, though, and lovely building that you have now out there.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely fantastic, and you can't miss that big sign going down the road. And I know you're there a lot of hours lately.
Yeah, I have been. But I'm happy with it. We're doing a lot of really great things, and we're helping the community, and we're helping our team grow and thrive. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
You
We're putting in
sponsored the
hours.
amazing Horse Capital Parade, which I was so excited to have that back downtown this year, and it was so special to have 50 plus horses showcased, and you supporting the community in that way is huge because it's educational. You know, you get to see all the different breeds and disciplines that we have here. We have over 70. There were even some breeds I hadn't met before in this parade, and it was just awesome to see how well that was represented, and little Charlotte in the truck waving, and your daughter loving life.
Yeah.
And it was just phenomenal. It was just an amazing event. So thank you for supporting that, and all the other things that you support in the equine industry. It's huge.
It was a really great experience, and bringing it downtown was amazing because we really got to see the community come out.
Several thousand
and
people on
it was
Square.
amazing. And even after the event, people came up and thanked me for being a sponsor, and I actually ran into somebody a couple days later, and they said, "Oh my gosh, Pat, you sponsored the horse parade." And I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, I did sponsor it." And they were like, "Oh, that's great." And it was an interesting startup for a
on
conversation.
a less cheery note, and I have no idea, and I'm sure they don't even know yet, but just in the last couple of days in the news in Idaho, there was a horrible barn fire. Prayers and thoughts and absolute deepest condolences out to those folks. I understand there may be 28 horses lost and a couple of employees that were hurt, and I hate whenever I hear about fires in horse barns, or any houses anywhere. I hate it, but we do hear about it, and it makes me very sad. And one of the things that I always say to people is, look, whether it was related to electric or not, you know, let's always set up to avoid that happening. And certainly this time of year, we want to keep our holidays bright and cheery and safe.
Absolutely.
Right? And we get fancy with lighting at this time of year, and we want to. It's funny, Chuck helped me put up my lights around my house a couple of weeks ago, and I can't tell you how many times I said Pat Myers Electric. Would Pat let me do this? Would Pat let me do this? I can't tell you how many times I said it.
That's a great thing. Would Pat let me do this? Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. And it's really, for me, it's a double-edged sword because I love the industry. I love the equine industry. I love being connected with them. We always want to think of, oh, how amazing the animals are and how amazing the industry is and the different disciplines and how we can come together and be it. But I am in a profession that has to think about these things, that has to think about keeping horses safe and keeping people safe and making sure their barns are safe. So, you know, we don't want to always stay in that mindset, but it's a reality. And especially during the holidays, people want to pull out their Christmas lights and be festive, and it's great. I encourage it. But a couple things. I mean, if you pull out Christmas lights and they're all frayed and you got broken bulbs, just throw them away. You can get them at the Walmart or wherever, cheaper, and just get a new set that you know is healthy. But one of the big ones, especially during this season, aside from being festive, is that as it's getting colder, people pull out their space heaters or their little portable heater, and they're great. They do a job. But leaving them unattended in a barn is so dangerous. It's just so dangerous to walk away. You never know what's going to get into them or if they get knocked over. I mean, a barn and I've said it before, it's a tinderbox. There's hay, there's dust, there's bedding, there's things that can catch on fire very quickly. And we just need to be aware of those things.
That's so true. Everything for how safe are your electrical outlets, how clean are your ceiling fans. You know, here in Florida, we're using ceiling fans in the winter as well because we have those warm days, and all those things have to be taken into consideration with people when they're looking. And you've done wonderful walk and stops where you've gone through barns and looked at everything from electrical outlets to fans to all of that, and you're willing to do that for people to let them know whether they're safe or not.
Well, and to give them a safe experience. That I'm not going to come out and sell them on something. I want people to be aware. That's the major thing. And one of the big ones that, and Pete, you know this because we've talked about this, is having GFCI outlets during the Christmas holiday. It is a test of GFCI outlets to, number one, find out if you have them, and then number two, if you're plugging in things that are bad and they're constantly tripping, they're doing their job. So it's a good indication.
Tripping is a good thing, and
if it is,
tripping in the horse world is not necessarily a good thing,
but
tripping happens for a reason in your world.
Right. If the breaker trips or the GFCI trips, number one, it tells you that they're working correctly and you have them. So that's a good thing. You want to make sure every barn should have GFCI protection for your outlets, whether you're plugging a fan in or it's just general use for the aisle or it's something for your farrier. It should be protected, and that's a big deal. And if you don't have them, that's an indication. This is really, it brings to light those problems that, oh, well, I've got 60 things plugged into one outlet, and it's fine, it works. Yeah, it probably does, but there's probably a deeper problem to what's going on.
I always think Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got everything plugged in, and he plugs it in, it lights up, and then...
If your barn looks like Clark Griswold's yard,
right.
You probably need to give me a call. I'd love to just walk through there and have a chat with you.
Well, and you know, the nice thing is you'll walk through and tell people, and like you said, it's not salesy, it's about safety. Your wife is a horse owner, you have horses and donkeys.
Yeah.
You guys know the equine world. Probably half of your business is equine related. You've lit up arenas, barns. Listen, when it started getting dark at 5 o'clock, I was so thankful to Pat Myers Electric because I could go out and switch on some lights, which, by the way, I've been living in my house for 2.5 years and haven't had to change anything. The lights still turn on. So, I mean, that speaks volumes, you know, to that. And we're so grateful that you will keep us all safe and our horses, because it's so important. And Ocala Magazine recognizes the best of the best, and just recognized Pat Myers Electric 2025, the best of the best again, better than best. It's actually called, right?
We
Better than best.
We actually had no idea we were even in the running for this, so that was really great to get. We're honored to get recognized.
I think that's the community voting to get you nominated into that spot, and so obviously the community recognizes who you are and how much it matters. And you've been taking horsemanship lessons with Pete to learn more, right?
One and only. That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
And you're learning more and more and more about the horse world all the time, and that is remarkable, noticeable, and in the horse capital of the world, I can't think of anything else that you would want to learn about.
And that's what I was going to say. You take lessons from me to get better with the horses and all that. We should take some lessons from you so that I look at barns totally different after we've
done the walk and stop.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it.
I know, and I'm going to tell you that I am more grounded than I have ever been.
See, being an electrician, you have a lot of great puns. They're shockingly good. I mean, realistically, that's what it's all about. First, you know, taking care of our community is such a big thing, and we're honored that we're recognized as electricians in this community. But we have an amazing foundation in the equine industry here in Marion County, and we love it here. So it's great. I want to continue to learn and grow and grow alongside the community. So it makes sense. I continue to learn electrical. Just because I have a master's license doesn't mean I've learned everything that there is to learn. So staying humble and being someone who wants to continue to get better at what they do and what they're around constantly is it's important.
Well, not that you ever weren't excellent, because you've always been, but in the few years that I have got to know you, I have seen so much growth. The sky's the limit, right? It's incredible.
Yeah. I don't think we knew each other when I had tape holding my boots together, and you know,
perhaps not then.
Yeah, I was in the ditch, in the bottom of the ditch, digging the holes. So, we've come a long way. It's good.
We're going to take a break, but Pat's going to stay with us for the last segment of the show this week. So we will be right back. Ocala Dog Ranch is the exclusive dog boarding facility to the Horse Talk Show. Leave the engines behind and saddle up for an unforgettable experience on horseback with African horse safaris.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars, and we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honouring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hello, I'm Chris Cox, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And before we get to Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week with Pat Myers Electric here in the studio with us to comment, I want to talk very quickly about the equine industry colouring book. Ooh. What would you like to be when you grow up? Horse Capital Jobs colouring book. This is going to print this month and will be distributed to over 30,000 children in Marion County Public Schools in January as a task that they need to complete and bring back to their teacher. And we're going to have a competition for the best one in every school. And this has got all sorts of jobs in the equine industry in it to colour, because we want to encourage children who don't get a chance to be around horses to learn about all the opportunities there are for them when they leave school. So this colouring book will be going out in January. It is in conjunction with Marion County Public Schools, and we are looking for sponsors. If you can email Tom at ocalacep.com and let him know if you're interested in helping us launch this colouring book. We think it's very, very important. So please reach out if you can help in any way possible. We're very grateful already to Piranha, the Chamber's Equine Initiative, First Impressions Printing, and we have several other donations that have come in. We're very, very close to having this done. Larson Hay and Seminole Feed just jumped on board with us. So we're very, very close to the finish line of getting this printed. So thank you all for being supportive and helping us, and let's get this done. Pete, it's time for your tip.
Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complimentary Horsemanship.
That's it, Dancing Pete.
So this week I was talking to a student and it just popped into my head, so I had to write it down. So the tip of the week is: progress does not happen at the goal. The goal may show your progress because you now can do it. True progress happens during the journey, and that's usually the hardest part for most humans, is the journey. And they don't realize that's when the progress is happening, not when you finish your goal. So progress is important, but remember, it's the journey that gets you your progress.
What do you think about the journey, Pat Myers from Pat Myers Electric, since you're on it?
I am on the journey. It's definitely interesting. It's that tip speaks a lot to what we're doing, because in the moment you feel like you're walking. And our first lesson, I felt like I know myself very well, and so I'm going to be able to go through these steps, and it's going to be very like 1, 2, 3. Just go down like the tasks I need to perform here. And I think most of the progress has been corrections for myself, and Vedette is very kind to me.
Yes, she is.
She is very kind to me.
Vedette the horse.
She knows that I need some help, and so you definitely learn about yourself. So you do get a sense of a progress at the end of the lesson, that you have some sort of something clicks that says, yeah, that was my fault, like 100%. I can tell, like I came with too much energy, and it's such a slight change in what you do. It's how you move your hand, or how you start a task, even if you're I come from an industry where I'm like, we just got to go, like we have to take action. So when I get something wrong, I want to go, okay, let's do it again. Go again. Let's go again. And you can't do that. Your energy changes, and you have to be able to be that flexible, but you have to monitor when you're doing it. So I think that's a very true statement, especially being in that journey.
Horsemanship tip of the week.
And the advantage is Vedette knows everything he's playing with, so
yeah,
he can't blame the horse like some of my students. Well, she doesn't know this. Well, let me play it.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
She does. She's telling you you're doing it wrong.
Right.
If you have a horse, you have at least one what, Pete?
Dog.
Shout out to Ocala Dog Ranch for looking after my dogs this week while I was in Vegas. Very, very grateful to know that they were so well taken care of, even all of Lucy's needs with her torn ACL. Thank you so much to Neil at Ocala Dog Ranch. Here is Neil's tip of the week.
The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. Tug toys. There's two frames of thought with tug toys. One is that you really don't want your dog to win because they might think they're the master. Well, come on. I mean, really? The dog is going to be your master? Tug toys are a lot of fun, a lot of exercise. Dogs love to play with tug toys. You can pull them, make them win sometimes, and pull them again, and just, it's a lot of. We'd use tug toys when we train our dogs for frisbee and for fly ball. The dogs see it as a reward. They zoom back to you. It's good for using recall training. You can have your dog come to you and have the tug toy. They'll fly at you to grab that tug toy.
Pat Myers from Pat Myers Electric has dog socks on for you, Neil. I know you're watching. He's got corgis on his socks. Only you. Hey, while we're speaking about dogs, why don't we do a shout out for Vocal, Voice of Change Animal League, where Lucy actually came from. One of my dogs actually I adopted from there and love it a bit. She's a great dog. The 10th annual Fur Ball is coming up. The Horse Talk Show is a media sponsor. We've been doing lots of shout outs for them. They do so much great work in our community, and that is in February 27th, I believe. Boots, Black Tie, and Best Friends, and they do great work in Marion County surrounding area. So if you can get involved, get a seat, get a table, be a sponsor, help out. This is the 10th year for the Fur Ball. It's good stuff, isn't it?
It's great.
Customer Appreciation Day, January 17th. Yeah, TT Distributors. Horse and Farrier Supplies from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. What are they doing there?
They're going to have door prizes 10% off. Well, they'll have a lot of the people that know the products that they sell. The reps that are going to be there to answer questions. So come out and be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. TT Distributors on Highway 40. The Children's Charity Classic for its second year is going to be on Friday, February 20th at Horse Shows in the Sun to benefit United Way. That is an excellent opportunity to get out and learn about the sport and get involved with hits and also support a great charity that supports many other charities, by the way. Looking for Christmas prezzies? The gift experience of a lifetime would be the Cattle Drive, the Great Florida Cattle Drive. Tickets are still available, I believe, for maybe another week or so at the most. It's a perfect gift. You know I want to go. And Seminole Feed Stores is a supporting sponsor of the Great Florida Cattle Drive. They're keeping such an incredible legacy alive. Hey, Pete, what's this?
March 28th and 29th, the Horseman Symposium with Linda Pirelli, Ryan Rose, Dr. Emily Rose, Jake Birnbaum, Louis Lucio, and Dancing Pete Rhoda.
You can't beat that lineup.
That's
Tickets are available, so make sure you get yours now.
Southeastern Livestock Pavilion.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome event. I guess we got to wrap it up pretty soon. We got a minute left. Any last words, Pat Myers, for our audience?
Enjoy the holidays, but take care of your barn.
Yeah, stay
Take care of
safe.
those barns and those horses.
So important, isn't it?
So important. It means so much to us. So I would never want to see it happen at my place, so I don't want to see it happen at yours either.
No,
And I think that's what sets you apart, is that you have horses, so you know how it would feel to lose one because of an electrical problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Avoid barn fires at all cost. We got to wrap it up. Check out Pat Myers at patmyerselectric.com. He is, without a doubt, the best electrician. His team are absolutely spot on every single time. Spot on. We're going to wrap it up. One more shout out for Piranha Animal Health. Thank you so much for such an amazing time in Vegas. National Finals Rodeo was incredible. They will have lots more interviews coming soon that will be on their pages, so please follow them, check them out. They are the best, without a shadow of a doubt. Incredible company. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world,
or not,
happy horsing around till the same time next week.
See ya.